Welcome to the channel. Building overseas doesn't have to be a nightmare. My goal is to help you make that dream a reality. Expect weekly tips on the process of building that dream home and the lifestyle it brings. So check out my videos, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing well. Please let me know about the sound feedback. That would be appreciative. Anyway, thank you for joining me briefly. Use your schedule. I hope you guys are doing very well. 2022, this is a year of maximum progress in your pursuit of making the African dream a reality and fruitful. So, today's topic is just I wanted to share with you some of the benefits of how to actually experience, Africa in its highest form, and also and also get some questions from you. What are some of the challenges that maybe is preventing you from taking the step or even continuing the steps? Okay. So let me know if you can hear me. I always enjoy the feedback. Okay. All right. So, um, so you can join in here as well. I know there's a questions from Joyce already. I will tackle that in a few minutes and stuff like that. So we do, you know, most of us, when we left the continent, there was a desire to someday come and put a uh, building or something, or start a business or something like that. The goal or the intent was never go back home. Some wanted to come back in a short while. Some wanted to maybe eventually relocate during retirement, and stuff like that. So that has been the back mind for a lot of people. And then you also have African our brothers and sisters from Black people all over the world as well. Some have been thinking about also doing that. So there's differences. I wanted to share with you some of the differences of home ownership in the West, and also home ownership compared to that if you have it in Africa. There are significant differences. I mean, most people in the West actually buy the home, not build a home. There's less than about 10% actually build a home from ground. Most people actually buy it, right? They buy it, and then maybe they might do renovation, remodeling, or something like that. But they are buying it, and so it's different between actually, on a blueprint, drawing something, a dream home, and maybe an architect and eventually getting it done. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is once those who are building, those who are very very close into completion, and those who are yet to start, is the sense of accomplishment. It's incredible once everything is done. It's just the dream becomes a reality, right? In all the hard work that went into that, the pride of knowing that man is I was able to accomplish this feat on this feat is very, very important. That is something that I can't speak less of, right? Your confidence and your self-worth, it's like goes up tremendously. There's also you enjoy unprecedented level of respect from the community and also for yourself as well, right? And so, because in general, Africans, really respect homeownership, right? They respect landlords, and stuff like that. So the landlords do get a lot of respect compared to renters, and so you will experience that at its highest form, right? And another benefit too is like there's a feeling of true ownership, right? That this house belongs to you and you are the captain of the ship, right? You can make 100% of the decisions. And for some of us, that is probably the first time of maturity when you don't have to answer to anybody, right? You are the boss now, right? And you don't feel like you owe anybody any explanations, right? Also too, if you have children and the children go too, they get to enjoy, there's this in between we stay in auntie's house or uncle's house than we stay at our house, right? There's a little bit more freedom, for the kids to enjoy the happiness and all that stuff, which, if the children are happy, you tend to be more happier, right? For me, this part is very important to me. It's like, because most of you know when you go and you live with relatives or friends, whatever, you do have a curfew when you go out. You really do have a curfew. Most people will have a curfew. When you come home late and stuff like that, sometimes the discussion is, so when are you coming home, right? Um, which means come home earlier. Okay, so you do have that aspect. So let me know if you can hear me. If somebody can, check and say sound is good, that'll be appreciated. So you do have that, knowing that you can go out, you can enjoy the nightlife and come home at any time and don't feel like somebody's giving you some looks um and stuff like that. So you don't have to get questions like, so when are you going back? When are you going back to the state? When are you leaving, right? So it's just freedom at its fullness, right? High level of privacy, by the way, because it's yours, right? You can listen, you can walk butt naked if that's your thing, right? It's your privacy and stuff like that. You also have a permanent residence, right? So when you have a permanent residence, it's a big deal. There's chances that you will go often if you have a permanent residence, and this is going to add to your financial stability, both in lifestyle and also in monetary stability, right? Because at least you check off the house. Felix, thank you. Sounds okay. Good. So you've checked out the house. So the house is done. Now you can redirect resources for other things, investment or savings for retirement and that kind of stuff. You have that, and also it's a property, right? It's an asset with a potential investment opportunity, but it has value, right? So it has value. So it always have value. Your house will always have value. It's going to be money well spent, and most of the aspects will tell you that home ownership is a good investment, right? It's a good investment. So that one, to me, I believe that it's a good investment. Anybody thinks that's it's a bad investment, I don't know how they are calculating that aspect. But then the question sometimes we get, and I know you've gotten some of these questions, are why invest all this money into this property if you are not going to live there permanently, right? Why invest all this money into a property you are going to live there permanently? So you do have that kind of questions, and it sounds logically, makes sense, but sometimes I think, depending on how the person is looking at it, it could be just a narrow view because and one also must ask what kind of people do ask these questions, and from because people that have been building, I've asked them these questions too, and they do get this. I've gotten few myself, and usually it's coming from people, one, who don't have a house in Africa. They haven't built one yet. Um, they cannot build one, um, or they have no desire to build one in the first place. And then you do get a few segment of people that have built a house, but then for whatever the reasons are not able to go back and enjoy the investment. So obviously, if you are not going to go back and enjoy, your investment, then it wouldn't have any value to you. Even if you don't go back, you can will it, you can sell it, you can pass it down to the next generation. There's so many things you can do it. So it has that potential value and the value in there as well. And so what also they don't equate to is this, and people that go back to their own home can attest to this. There's a sense of peace. There's a sense of peace when you visit your own home. And for me, even if I go back 3 weeks in a year or a month in a year, the happiness and the sense of peace, the joy to me is worth more than, you know, the kids are happy, they run around, you have space, indoor and outdoor. That alone to me is worth more than any financial I put into that. To me, that is priceless. To be able to have your kids experience that. And so because I never got to experience that as an adult. So to have to be able to do that for for the next generation, to me, listen, I'll do it over again. Okay. So that to me, the value is there. And so the people that have built and they go back and enjoy it, they will actually tell you that it's a good investment. Most of them will tell you. But those who haven't done anything, can't do anything, or don't want to do anything, or have built something and they're not going back, obviously, then there will be another narrative, right? A few shout out here. Joyce, I'll take this question. Is it wise to start building if you have one survey knowing the permit is coming, or should you just wait? Let me put a question. Yeah, I have one in your hand. So there's a couple of things. So I hope Joyce, you are there. When different regions have different rules. In This is where other regions are actually ahead of Accra. Other regions, you can go in there and get your permit within a month. The permit that allows you to build for within 5 years, complete within 5 years, you can get a full permit. In Accra, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So you might do like a provisional permit payment, but it's not actually a payment. They will give you a receipt, and then they give you like maybe 2 months on there to build, hoping that at that time you can still pursue your full permit, and maybe you'll get it, but I guarantee you you're not going to get it in 2 months. So the best thing for you, I would say, is this: do not start building, or do not start going to get a permit until you are ready to build, like right now. It's up, because other than that, what is going to happen is when they give you when you start building. So basically, when you pay down payment some money, it doesn't really go to the payment. It's just they'll give you a receipt for you to start building. And you have 2 months and you haven't started project yet, then basically it's just 2 months that's gonna go to waste, right? So you don't approach that until you are ready. So like you're ready, that means you've gotten your code for your foundation and everything. The money's ready to go and all that stuff. Then you go get your provisional, you know, permit, and then start building, and then you can work towards a full permit in hand. Other than that, what is going to happen is you're not going to be able to utilize the 2 months that they give you effectively. Okay, so I hope that was sound is good for us. Thank you, Tomodachi. Thank you, bro. Okay, so this way you can throw in some few questions so we can take it, right? And so the question for you guys will be, what are some of the challenges, right? So what are the challenges that you are facing to make that dream, to move on to your project or to start the project? What are some of the things? And sometimes it's domestic, right? You have situations that there's a couple in the house, you know, let's say one is from another country, you are from another country. The question is, uh, everybody wants to build a house in their respective countries. How are you going to do that? Sometimes you have one spouse who have nothing to do with it. Financially, they don't want to support it. How are you going to do that? There's concerns about, sometimes people are worried that maybe, building that home will expose them to certain kinds of jealousy, enviness, and potential dangers, whether within family dynamics. Listen, there's a way you can negate all that stuff. There's a way you can stop all those things. And so there are solutions to whatever the struggle and the concerns are. There are solutions. Okay. And maybe sometimes you do have some of these solutions. You just want run by another person to to see whether those are workable, right? By the end of the day, your network is your net worth, right? And that only does not apply to financially, right? It also applies to all areas of life in which you have people that have wisdom, experience, knowledge in specific areas that can help you succeed and overcome challenges. Some of these stuff you can't just do it by yourself. You need a motivation, a drive. You'll be carrying a lot of the weight on yourself, but also you might need certain people in key areas to help you um, navigate around some of these challenges, right? Because one of the questions that I have, I've seen, I've heard, sometimes it would be like, I build, and this is mostly more for like the African migrant, sometimes they'll be like, Tony, if I build this house, my family, my siblings, my extended family is going to make a move on these things, or what happens if I'm not around anymore, and then I feel like there'll be contention for the properties, um, and and so I'm worried about that. These are also, they are legitimate concerns, but I have a solution for that. I've also thought about that, and there's a way. There's actually a way. Um, there's a way that you can do things that, no matter what it is, they cannot take that property from who you have designated to be the rightful owner. They could not take it. It's a bomb-proof way to do it. There's a way they can do it. They really can do it. There's a couple of ways. One of the ways that I'll share here is, we have a reliable, competent, well-versed, experienced lawyer on the ground. It's not just, we talk about will, but I think like people don't understand how you write a will is very important. And so it's not just writing a will saying that it goes to this person when I'm no longer there. It's not just that. It's about making a succession plans of a series of generational transfer of the property or properties, in which when you are not around, it goes to XYZ. If that person is not there, it goes to what XYZ, and it goes all the way to about five succession in which you give it to the state. So if somebody wants to clean up everybody in succession, then eventually they'll have to deal with the state. Okay. But then how you write it is, for every person you give to, it is for them and their descendant. So you're writing something for, we're talking about centuries, millennia, right? Right. So there's a way you can do it. You can do it and make it bomb proof. And how and then how you gonna control the will and stuff, so it's legally binding, and then all the contingencies that you're gonna have in place if the kids are young, who's going to be the executor of the will, and that kinds of stuff, that their interest is going to be protected, right? So you are not like so vulnerable, you're not so like weak in these kind of things. And if you are, you'll, because you don't have the resources, and maybe you're not thinking about these things right now. And so you can do that. You can do that now. You don't have to wait till you finish the project. You can do it now, and then you can actually capture future assets into it. So if you have one house and someday you want to start, real estate, you want to get into other businesses, you can capture all that now, for now and into the future. So whatever you acquire goes back, covers, shielded, and basically you can will it everything that is in that respective country, right? So you can do that, and when you do that, the United States government has no sovereignty to play around with those kind of things. You must understand these things. obviously you do your will here as well. And so there's a lot of information that you can do. There's a lot of stuff that you can overcome, whatever the challenges are, to secure yourself, to make sure you enjoy the hard work that you've put in, and don't become victimized, whether by hook or crook and stuff like that. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff you can do, right? And when you have things put in place, it's easier for you to go do what you need to do. That no matter what happens, no matter what happens in your lifetime, you will your demands, your words will be will be your directives will be activated, right? And so there's a way you can do that. Okay. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have other questions. Um, Another question too that comes up in people that are building is this. If I didn't put all that money into that property, I would have invested it or use it in another positive capacity, right? You get that kind of questions. Now, I've thought about that question and I've asked people that have finished building. I said, okay, if you didn't build, where were you going to do with the money? And to be honest, most of them will say probably it might go to frivolous stuff. Like maybe it's gonna go to maybe getting another nice car, maybe some trips, some jewelry, that kinds of stuff. And that's where the money is going to go. And I think that is more, unless maybe the person has a financial discipline, maybe they have done other investment here, they've done well, and the money they have invested it they could have used it to secure other things. That means there's a track record. But I think for most of us, if the money doesn't go into the property, it's going to go do the stuff that we're doing now, right? Buy nice things. And so, because if that's not true, then we could say that the money that you made outside the investment to the property should have been used for other important things as well. But chances are we will buy nice things. I know I would have bought nice things, for sure. But and those nice things would not have its value as to have a property, right? So you are going to spend the money somehow. All of us in a lifetime will make at least $1 million. If you add up all the money we work for, we'll make at least $1 million. Some two, some five, some 10, some 100. So, but the question is, at the end of the day, what is it that you have to show for, right? What is it that we have to show for? And I think that we, as our people, must accumulate assets, asset. And the goal is the next generation should be much better off than we did. So my parents didn't have the opportunity to give me a house. Uh, my kids will have the opportunity. Okay. And so every generation is going to, start from a higher um, level. And so then you become the one that blow up, set a course for the generation to thrive. So that is the challenge. And so 2022, no excuse, right? We're not gonna make any excuses now. And I was thinking about another thing too, with COVID and everything. You got me thinking, I said, okay, what happens because there's mandate. Almost every few weeks they want to mandate something. So I'm thinking about, okay, what if they start mandating that we need to get shots every 3 or 4 times a year, or our children needs to get shots every couple of months before they go to school, before they have to be in school. Then what are we going to do, right? What are we going to do? And I was thinking about it, and I said, if they impose this thing, like you have to, take shots like every 3 months, whatever, get another booster, that kind of stuff. What am I going to do? And for me, listen, I have my cutoff point. And I say, listen, if they start mandating certain things to a level that I think is unnecessary, I'm just going to move. I'm just gonna go to Africa, stay there for some time. And so I've thought about it. So I've drawn a line in the sand to some level, and I've been preparing for this day, something like that, for about 5 years. And so that is, and if you can do that, and for some people they can't do it in the sense of like they don't even have a home. So then when you do go, you are forced to bring in, what is it, the 1 to 2 year rent, right? That is going to cut a lot into your money right away. I can move and don't have to, I'll pay zero in rent, cut back the lifestyle a little bit, um, and then stay there for a couple of years. Even if I don't make any money in Africa, I can still be fine. Um, stay there for several years, and stuff like that. So these are some of the things that I want us to start thinking about is to I always say we should be able to live in two continents, right? To be able to live in two continents because we know our history. Black people, we know our history in the world. And so if we don't take care of what we need to take care of, then I think that we shouldn't leave. It will be sad if the next generation is also in the same predicament we are in, um, and stuff. So building is a must. You are going to enjoy Africa at its fullest when you have your house built. You will be. You will be like, I don't want to go to, give me, like right now, if you tell me, okay, Tony, when you go back, we're gonna give you the nicest hotel in Ghana to stay there for a month, I wouldn't stay there. I'd rather go to my house. I want to be my house because that hotel is not gonna give me the space. It's not gonna give me, I'm not going to feel that comfortable, right? I'm not gonna feel the sense of this is mine. Um, you know, I'm not gonna have my privacy. I'm not going to feel I can come in and out, and it's just different. It's really different. Um, so so it's just one of those things that we have to take advantage of. You will enjoy it when you go back, when it's yours, right? And some people I know here um, are going to be able to do that, and some are doing that. So I'm not alone in that. You will enjoy it when you arrive at home. It is incredible. It's priceless. So I want each of you to be able, to do that. Emmanuel, thanks for joining us. Eve, thank you. Hi, Angie. I hope all is well. Um, Accumulation of the money will make all the difference, right? Yes, yes. But also there's a magic. There's a magic in this that when you make that decision, things will fall in place. I've said it many times. When there's nothing, there's no force on earth that can stop a winner from winning. And unfortunately, there's no force on earth that can make a loser from winning, right? So, so if you decide that you are going to make this happen, you're going to make it happen. I believe that wholeheartedly, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. And so it's just one of those things you have to you have to do it, right? You have to do it. Okay. You'll be my home. It's true. It's true. That feeling is true. Um, that's true. Okay. Then the Ghana president mandated poison for coming everyone. So I will assume the vaccination, the mandatory vaccination shots at the airport to come in. So this is the challenge that we face. The people that are in favor of the vaccination, the powers be, um, are doing what they need to put the vaccine in. You are getting resistance, and so the question becomes, as what is the price? What is the price one is willing to take? Okay, what is the price? Sugar will kill you too. salt will kill you too. A bunch of stuff could kill you as well. And so if the question is death, is this death from the vaccine or whatever? Is that what it is? Or we looking at death in general? I think that, to me, I'm looking at all the things that could potentially kill me, right? That is what I'm looking at. So if I'm not taking the vaccine and I'm eating sugar, sugar will kill me, or salt will kill me, right? So it has to be a holistic approach. And everybody is going to be making that decision for themselves, and it's a hard decision. It's not an easy decision for everybody. It's a hard decision, and it has to be made, I think, with a lot of thoughts, and factor all the consequences that that could happen. And so people will make it. For me, just like anything, I have my risk tolerance. There's certain things I might do. There's certain things I say, okay, you know what, this is enough. But the question is, if I move to Africa and let's say I don't have to come back, um, did I put myself all these years in a position to able to thrive if I don't want to get start with something else I disagree with, right? I disagree with. Um, and so you factor everything in, right? You have to factor everything in. And if you don't have power in the world, if you're not at the table, you're a puppet somehow. Some people are puppet and it's very visible, but if you don't call the shots, if you don't make your own food, you don't control your power, you don't have any access, you don't have your own security and stuff like that, you are at the mercy of somebody. And so it's a whole different thing. But for me, I looked at the things I can control and the things I can control. Obviously, there's the last 2 years, 2.5 years has been a whole different thing. And so um, you know, we all will die someday, but hopefully you leave a legacy of something, right? Okay, so it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. So let's see. I think you should live your life respect to what mandates take place. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a tough decision. Okay, okay. Thanks for joining me. It will end soon or not end soon. Justice Shield say no. No, say why. It's like uh, it will not change. You don't call the shot or you don't. Even in America, a few people call the shots. So I don't want to go there. Yeah, it could be sugar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I study genetics. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll let it go. It's just to alter DNA takes time, right? It's a lot of things. Chemicals will alter DNA too, right? So we don't want to dive that into that. A lot of things. Yeah, say well. Okay. But at the end of the day, you make that decision for yourself. For me, I've drawn a line. Say, okay, if you ever gets to this line, these are some of the decisions I will make, and I could live in both continent because it has been something that I've thought about, pre-COVID, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, but each your own. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We want Justice Shit here. He wants to be heard and stuff like that. So it's not the vaccine thing is just tough, right? It's tough. It's tough. I read a lot on it. What I could know. I also waited, see the evidence and stuff like that. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's There's no easy way, right? There's no easy way. I understand why some people want to take them, um, and some people don't want to take them. It's difficult. It's going to be an individual thing. But all I'm saying is, if you really want to, let's say, you want to change the genetic makeup, it's better to put in a food group over decades. That much more is benign. That much is more likely than to put into a solution that can be analyzed and tell you exactly what is in there, right? I wouldn't go that way. It's better to cook the frog a little slower than in hot water. Okay. So yeah. So it's you at the end of the day, put yourself in a situation to win, right? Control the things you can control, which is you make your money, how you can spend it, how you can plan. And there's a lot of things that, unfortunately, you can negate. Is because a certain point is going to be like life and death. And we are controlled in a lot of ways we don't even know, right? Um, and so it's a hard thing. Yeah, it's a hard thing. So have a plan, and have a plan. Have a plan. Reevaluate your plan. And I say live in two continents. Africa can be an escape place. Doesn't mean that you're not going to deal with these challenges and stuff like that. Um, it's like I know people that actually have. We've been talking about this thing for about 8 years. That actually, when the vaccine they just left, and they've isolated themselves off the grid doing their thing, but they have been planning well. They have been planning really, really well, and so it's tough. It's tough, but uh, no, no problem, no problem, no problem. It's like I feel you. It's hard, it's hard. Um, but we'll try to make the best. I mean, ideally, like if you have all the money, you don't have to do it. Yeah, yeah. It's like you can stand that, but at a certain point, if you deplete everything you've built out and you don't have anything, and it's hard. It's really hard. Okay. Sometimes I don't know. So sounds good. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Is for some people, is there's familiarity, there's history, there's all kinds of stuff. Africa has its advantages, and other things as well. So it's all about the planning, right? So if you plan well, you do fine, stuff like that. It's all the politics is always going to be there. It was going to be there, and that's why sometimes people even want to be in the city. It is, I want to be somewhere in the remote and just don't have to deal with certain things. The politics is going to be there, but let's make the best out of it, right? Let's make the best out of it, and hopefully, this thing pass away and stuff like that. Yes, you know, investment, properties. It's good. You have to diversify yourself. You know, you have to diversify yourself because um, you never know. You never know when you may have to jump ship. You know, you have to set yourself. So you never know when you have to jump ship. So I feel you, Justice Shield. I feel you. Feel you. But that's where you put your plan in place and trying to execute them. Okay. Webinar. Okay. You guys know, my website. If you can reach me, royalconsultingsolutions.com. We have webinar, we have consultation, we have stuff for building guide. We have stuff you want to buy buy things in Africa. We have stuff for you that you can look at to make sure like the inspection is good, what to make sure the paperwork as well, to protect yourself. We have all that. And I said, basically, your net work is your net worth, right? So it's all about information. It's all about information. Joyce, you just joined us. I answered that question. Okay, I'll give you the answer. Don't so try to apply for the permit. Go in and try to apply. Depending on what region you are in. If you're in Cape Coast, you can get a full permit in a month or two. If you're in Accra, I doubt it. So let's say if you're in Accra region, whatever, they'll give you a receipt. From that receipt, they should give you about 1 to 2 months to start doing stuff. Then you can build, right? Then you can, deal with the complete payment. But don't do that until you are ready to build ASAP, because if you go pay and get the receipt and you are not building, by the time you start building, they're going to show up and they will say that the time has expired. So before you start, make sure you have the code, you have the money ready to start. Then you go the permit route. Okay, that'll be the best way. So consultations by in-depth, everything we talk about money management, how to build, how to be efficient, things you have to take advantage of. And contrary to people, there are certain times you have to build because of the city and the dollar issue that goes on, and we pay attention to the worldwide market and stuff like that. So you want to time yourself, then um, that your money is stretched out properly for this project and stuff like that. Those are all in the consultation that we discuss about, and stuff like that, because a certain time of the year or certain time that you build is like, it's costing more money to build at that time. And also the make sure it's efficient, right? Efficient, how you are building, using the right team, the right material, because all that is going to happen using. There's nothing called cheap quality build. Okay, there's nothing like that. Okay, and so it's better to use the right team, and if you're not using us, then how to protect you in that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, I think you should use us, because then you eliminate. If we're bidding for you, uh, you're gonna eliminate theft, low quality materials. You're gonna eliminate inferior build, and get quality build. All the money is going to the project. It's gonna be delivered. You're gonna be happy. We're gonna consult with you and deliver something incredible. So you eliminate that. So if you say, Tony, I can't build because I can't trust anybody, wow, that's not an excuse anymore. Okay, we are here. We'll get them down with you. Okay, we're down for you. Okay, at a good price, fair price, and stuff. So we Fieni King came back. Yes. Over my career. Yeah. The food, African food is dope. You guys know that it's dope. So um, let me see. Correct, correct. So true, right? So true. That is why I don't, because right now, if you watch the news, you're probably gonna get depressed, because it's almost like every other week there's a variant, and people are dying and all kinds of stuff. Um, and there's all kinds of stuff. And so sometimes you gotta tune out and focus on what you need to do. Okay. I cut out my cable. I haven't had cable for years now. And I still get information that I needed, and I bypass. If I get up and the heart is beating, I'm going to work for myself and do what I need to do, and stuff like that. So just don't focus on that, because you're not going to win. You have more power, they have more resources, uh, and all things like that. You're not going to win that battle. You can only control what you need to control. Make your money, use it wisely, invest, and then put yourself in a good position and put yourself in a better position for the next generation. That is all you can do. I can't fight Biden. I can't fight Anado. They're gonna do what they need to do. In the meantime, I'm gonna do what I need to do. Okay. And so that is what it is. And maybe we build the dynasty strong enough. Maybe the future generation will start reversing. Maybe we're gonna have the future black children in the world who have the power to reverse, to not become a puppet. So maybe with a sacrificial lamb. Maybe, right? So um thank you, AG. I hope it was very, very informative, and it helps you um manage the project, and just follow it in that sequence, because that is the best way we could find out. I use that myself. Everything is in there, right? So just go with that sequence and stuff like that. Um, it took 3 months to put together by 6 of us. So we try to make it more comprehensive. So I think it's very, very good. It's very, very good. So, all right. So let me give some few shout outs to people that join me. Joyce, Felix, okay, Emmanuel, thank you, Eve, NGH, Justice Shield, thank you for your thoughts. KK, Tamadashi Holmes, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, so you want to maximize your happiness, the quality of life in Africa. You gotta have a house. You really gotta have a house. Okay, and we need to start getting now. We need to start buying these lands now. We need to start doing this thing now because it's gonna get expensive. Okay, we need to do them. So maybe save a little bit of money and get two plots and then build on one and keep the other one, right? And so we need to be proactive now. Okay, we really need to be proactive because hey, the future is a race, and nobody's waiting for us. Nobody's waiting for you. I will keep doing this YouTube. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna give everything I have, but I know eventually, someday too, I like to take a break and enjoy the hard work over all these years. So use it. Take what you need. The rest, if it didn't make sense, don't worry about it. Take what you need. Move on. Build and create a lifestyle that you want for yourself. Our website, you can see our website at the bottom here, which would be royalconsultingsolutions.com. And if you want to contact me, royalconsultingsolutions@gmail.com as well. Take a look at it and see how we can do. You can see all the services over there. We can take your house from the beginning and complete it for you. Okay. So um personally, I'm also doing my projects, the stuff going on. That videos will come in a couple of weeks, and stuff like that. So I am doing what I'm telling you. Okay, I'm not selling you something I am not doing, and what I don't do, I'm not gonna promote it. So I'm actually a thought on that. So but your happiness is tied to that house, and so make it happen. Make it happen, right? Make it happen. It's all this stuff is information. You have the quality information from the right people. Your money goes further. Your decisions is better, right? Because these are mistakes that people have made, and they don't want you to say, listen, this is what happened when I did this. This is what happened. Buy a land from here. Don't buy from here because this place is very notorious for these kind of things, and you don't want to be involved. So um when you have that, you're gonna make a great decision. When okay, it's like the rightest thing to hopefully the vaccine doesn't kill us, whatever, but nothing kills us, and we live to old age and have legacy for the next generation to build on that. To me, that's what it is about. So that's all it is about for me. So okay. All right, 1 minute, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, guys. It was a full house today. I'm seeing you. Appreciate you joining me Saturday. So there's no excuse. You can do it. I believe you can do it. You can build the 3 bedroom, the 4 bedroom, the 5 bedroom, the 6 bed. You can do it. Under the right information and knowledge and stuff like that. So then you can build. And also, I'm an advocate for don't take all your money and build. I'm advocate for that's why it took me 7 years to build the first house. It was a lot of money, really a lot of money. Someday I'll give the figure out. That was a lot of money. But also one of the reasons being I wanted to have money for any contingency that was going to happen. So that is how we always do it, right? Because life happens. So the plan is for you to do that. So sometimes we might help you with a better layout, that is much more. And make no mistake, certain house construction costs more than other houses. They're now the same. Certain style of homes add more. And so we know that. So there's stuff that we talk about. So okay, if you do this thing, you could save like maybe 10, 15K on the whole process because you're gonna eliminate of other things and stuff like that. So all the same, thank you. Okay. Um thank you for joining us. Like always, and I appreciate you everyone for tuning in. See you next Saturday as well, right? So let's go build this thing. In spite of all the opposition, all the challenges that we face, globally, um, domestically, internationally. We are resilient people, and so we can do great things. So let's us be the generation that actually draw the line and say, you know what, we're gonna build something. We're gonna build a legacy for the next generation to go there and stand. Okay, and reverse some of this stuff. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Go win. This is the year. Start the house, build them, continue, stay focused. Don't be distracted. COVID also is a distraction. And stuff. We've been here a million plus. Black people have been here a million plus. It's not COVID that's gonna get rid of us. I don't think so. And so if you understand that, because you are God to begin with. All right. Thank you.